actually forensic investigation products, and we will focus on FTK Central. I will go through some slides at the beginning, and then I will switch to the live demo, and I will show you the product itself and how does it look like and how we can work with the products. And I will try to touch some of the features that you might be using in daily basis when you're working with the product. Okay, so let's start actually. So yes, you might be familiar with the FTK brand or access data, and you might not be familiar actually with Exterro. So let me start with introducing Exterro to you. Exterro has actually acquired access data around a year ago, and from the time of acquisition, we are witnessing increased investment. I mean, both financial investment and headcount on the forensic products. So for example, the development team has increased dramatically from 4 or 5 developers to a team of 250 developers nowadays, which is a good news for us. So, and after this acquisition, Exterro has become the only company that has brought these 4 areas together, which is e-discovery products, cybersecurity compliance, privacy, and recently digital forensics. Okay, as I mentioned, today we will discuss about digital forensics, and we are actually solving different problems in the area of digital forensics. As you can see, from homicide, terrorism, narcotics, to intellectual property offenses, to identity theft, and so on. So we have lots of tools and specialized features for dealing with different types of data. So, and we are actually solving the problems of the customers that are using the product at the moment. This slide actually summarizes some of the challenges that the forensic industry is dealing with these days. So let's have a look to them. It says that labs currently are facing massive backlog of evidences to be processed. This is mainly due to the nature of the task. I mean, large amount of data needs to be processed before a human can go through that and review it, which is in nature a time-intensive and resource-intensive task. The other one is that these days, specifically in internal investigations, we have the malware everywhere, and cyber malware are actually everywhere. So this is also causing a different challenge for the companies. Forensic science taking great role these days in the courtrooms, in connecting with criminals and civil proceedings and so on. Also, the skill set and the technical knowledge of the reviewers are not the same usually. So a single solution might be hard to fit all skill sets of the reviewers of the companies. Furthermore, these days with the COVID situation, the clients are working from home, and also this is also causing another problem for the companies who would like to gather data from remote clients working from home or off-network places. And finally, the humans can't really analyze and review a huge amount of data without the aid and help of advanced technology. So how we can help customers to overcome these issues? We are actually introducing speed, scalability, flexibility, and control. What does this mean? FTK Central and the other actually FTK products are remarkably fast. Based on the recent investigation that we had, we are capable of processing 7 terabytes of data in depth in just 24 hours, which is remarkable, which is amazing. Also, nearly limitless scalability we can provide. What does this mean? It means that based on your needs, you might implement this solution with just limited amount of processing engines. But later on, if your processing requirements increases, if your data increases, you can simply add new processing engines to the existing environment without the need of redeploying or reconfiguring or even reinstalling the product. So you can just add new processing engines and we are good to go. And the system will start using new servers to process data faster. Forensically sound. This means that FTK brand is a well-known brand these days in courtrooms for its repeatable and defensible processes without making a single change to the original evidence. And better usability and collaboration. I will show you that this platform is a collaborative environment. Multiple users can connect to a single case and start working at the same time, investigating different or even the same item, which provides collaboration, and it's easy to use. And finally, the ability to remove data and off-network data covertly without even with interference or knowledge of the end user. Here we have some statistics. I'm not really going to spend much time on these, but to mention some of them, as you can see, more than half of the customers are in the industry are actually facing some challenges about ensuring compliances, either government compliance or contractual requirements. They are facing problems with data security, keeping customer information, financial, intellectual properties, PII, etc. Something around 43% of the corporates in the industry do not really have a suitable solution to react to incidents in a timely manner. Also, usually the customers complain, or the companies, let's say, complain about the cost and time that they need to spend on the investigations and the failure in finding whatever they are looking for in the silos of data repositories. And also piecemeal solutions that they do not integrate with the systems can cause issues for the corporates. And so let's okay, sorry. And some other problems, actually, as you can see, increased executive awareness of security issues, increasingly mobile workforce that we have these days, data sprawl, and Internet of Things also can add complexity to the environments today. Okay, let's talk about our solutions in a bit more detail and see what products we have and what are the differences of the products. So Exterro provides 4 different products, let's say 4 different major products to the market. The first one is FTK. You might be familiar with these products. The FTK on the left, this one, is the very basic product that we provide. It is actually for one-to-one investigations of dead box forensics. So it can provide full forensic features, repeatable, defensible, forensically sound, full disk analysis from different media. It is capable of decrypting files, restoring passwords, and building reliable reports. And finally, it's capable of parsing registry files and Windows artifacts, or Mac artifacts recently, or Linux. Okay, then let's jump to the FTK lab. This one, all the features from FTK, plus the collaborative and scalable environment that FTK lab provides to us. This lab actually stands for collaboration. So because this product can be deployed in a distributed environment, it is scalable. It is fully scalable. You can add as much as processing engines as you want, okay, nearly limitless. So this provides high processing power to the environment. So you can process huge amount of data at the same time using multiple servers running at the same time. And the solution is capable of utilizing full hardware capacity of your servers, which is amazing. Okay, and you can manage processes from a single place and centralize case and task management. Okay, so lab adds collaboration to the FTK that we initially talked about. Then we have FTK Enterprise. Again, almost all the features that we have with FTK Lab and FTK. Then FTK Enterprise adds some more features like remote and off network and cloud data collection. Within a single application, you can collect data everywhere. The ability to collect live data, volatile data, like memory data from remote agents, from remote clients. And all these are happening through a single agent. Okay, and lots of extra features that we have. Then we have another product, which is FTK Central, which is the main focus of today's discussion. And the FTK Central is different in the way that it provides a web-based user interface. This actually causes the users to work with this product much easier without the need to install any application, okay, any client application. So it has easy to use interface, it is fast, much faster, and lots of new features that I will show actually you during this session. As Stefan mentioned, if you have any questions, feel free to ask through the chat window and we will be happily answer the questions. Okay, this slide is talking about the use cases and which solution is best for me. But I'm not going to explain all of them. Maybe we can bring an example here, one of the short ones. I need to grant case access to reviewers outside my organization. So why FTK Central is suitable for this? Because it is web-based, okay? So it's much easier to provide to a remote client, to a partner, to a detective, to access through web interface without the need to install any application on the remote client. And simply by providing the web access, he will be able to access and work on the data. Okay, and the next slide actually shows the differences that we have. So FTK Central, as you can see, does not have one-to-one this collection feature, which we can cover this using the FTK Imager application that I'm sure that this is a famous application you might be using. So also it cannot decrypt and password cracking by its own. And again, we have the PRTK tool, which are free of charge tools, and we are providing them to the customers. So apart from that, we have all features for data gathering and forensic investigations. Okay, and let's focus on FTK Central. And this is the dashboard page. We will talk about the user interface more today in the live view. This is designed to be user-friendly, to be intuitive and easy to use, so that different users with different skill sets can easily use, and the user interface is fast. Okay, why FTK Central? Because it has high power for processing data. Because it is capable of collecting off-network data, cloud information, and remote client information through the agents. Because it is much faster, and it's browser-based, it's faster, it doesn't need to install any application on the client. And also it provides collaboration. It has some features to manage the workflow of the reviewers. So in a single view, you can see which reviewer has reviewed how many percent of the tasks that you have assigned to them. Okay, are they on track? How much is the progressing actually? So this application, this solution has some features to manage workflow among different reviewers. And finally, again, this needs minimal training, and everybody with different skill sets can easily use. It has designed using Google design modeling, so it is user-friendly and so on. Okay, a couple more slides, then we will switch to the live demo. This slide shows the forensic bottlenecks. What are those bottlenecks? The first one is processing data. As I mentioned, due to the nature of the task, it might be time and resource intensive. So how we can resolve this issue? By bringing power to the processing phase of the investigation. So we can add resources, and also we are by design fast in processing. Not only fast, but also reliable. The next one is the human intervention when the users are actually reviewing the data. This also can be a bottleneck. And how we are solving this? By bringing ease and user friendliness to this process, by categorizing the data, but helping and assisting the users when they are dealing with data, by bringing some kind of automation to this process, and workflow management. Okay, so the workload can be decreased from months to weeks, and from weeks to days, and so on. Okay, and also another features, as I mentioned, we are capable of collecting cloud information. This is actually important for internal investigations. Using the agent that we have, we can collect data from remote clients, from working from home clients, and we are capable of collecting cloud data, organizational data, which can be from Slack, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Google Suite, Microsoft Exchange, Office 365, network shares, and so on. And we are working, the development team are working on this feature to even extend our connectors to different cloud resources. Yes, and it provides a single repository for every kind of data. So you gather all the data, they are getting processed, and you will be working with all data in a single review mode. Yes, some screenshots about the application. As you can see, it's fresh, intuitive UI, easy to use, fast. This is the dashboard again, and as I mentioned, this is easy to use. We will touch them during the live demo. Another screenshot, it shows the review mode, and as you can see here, we have a chat data in a bubble view, and the reviewer pane here is capable of parsing different kind of data appropriately. So if you are going to view an image, then it will be appear here as an image. If this is a chat, it will appear here in a bubble view. If this is an Excel sheet, it will parse the same data in a single view. There's no need to open different panes or views or change something manually. These are being done automatically in the background. And using the technology of saving the data and recovering the data in batches, small batches, it is nearly instant. It's fast. Another important features for collaborative environments is the user management and role-based access control. So you can create active custom users, you can integrate with Active Directory, you can create custom groups, and you can create and assign custom roles to control the privileges of the users, different users, in a per case basis. So a user can access a case in view level, but it can access and modify data or work on the data in another case. So you can assign different roles for different cases for different users. And it's pretty granular. We will touch this in the session today. And finally, we have API support, which can be used for automating tasks. So instead of directly connecting to the application interface and running some commands, you can call API commands and they can automate the processes for you. And it brings programmability. And it brings actually the integration ability with your current existing solutions that you have in your environment. For instance, if you have a CM solution and it detects some kind of malicious behavior in one of the clients, it can automatically generate an API call to FTK Central, and then FTK Central can create a case on the fly, and it can start a task to gather data in a real time. And it might happen during the midnight, and it can collect the data when the incident is occurring without even your knowledge. And it can parse the data, process the data, and in the morning when you come to the office, you have everything in front of you. So API is a powerful feature and a tool that you can use for automating and you can use for programmability. Okay, I think this amount of slides are enough. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Then we can switch to the live demo.
Yeah, Hamid, we have one question until now. If the FTK Central can be installed also on-prem?
Okay, that's a perfect question. We are quite flexible with the deployments. Yes, FTK Central is capable of being installed in your own servers. So we can install it on your own servers, or if you have Azure or Amazon Web Services platforms or environments, it can be installed on your cloud, private cloud as well. So the answer is yes.
Okay, and regarding the CM solution, it can be integrated also with, let's say, RSite or McAfee CM?
It can be integrated with any third-party tool which are actually supporting REST API, because we are working with standard REST API. So the answer is yes. As far as your solutions are supporting REST API, we can integrate with any third-party tool. But so far, since this is a new feature, we are working on Palo Alto XOR, and we have some customers that are using these features. We haven't integrated in practice with those with McAfee and with ArcSight yet, because the customer have not requested yet. But yes, we are capable of integrating with any CM solution.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we are on time. We have something around 50 minutes or 45 minutes to go through the live demo. If you have any questions, again, feel free to interrupt and ask, and I will be happily answer the questions. Okay, so let's have a look to the application itself. As you can see, this is the login page of FTK Central. I'm using Chrome browser, or you can use any standard browser to work with this application. Let's log in, and this is the landing page. We have some features here. We have some actually options here to work with, and we can start with cases, maybe the case list. And if you have experience working with FTK solutions, you know that cases are actually the virtual containers that can contain evidential information and data related to a single case or a single issue. So as you can see, I have 7 cases here, and I have processed all the data. I can see the path to the case. I'm using a centralized storage. So those are shared folders actually. And I can see how many data are there, how many items are there, and the create date, and so on. So let's click on one of those cases and let's see what we have inside the case. Okay. It brings me to the dashboard of the case. As mentioned during the slideshow, we have a dashboard here. Actually, we have two different kinds of dashboards. One is the classical dashboard, which is being created by default, and it contains some details about the case. It shows my evidences that I've imported to the case. It shows the processing jobs and the status of the jobs. It shows the labels and bookmarks, different file categories, map view, and so on. But you can create your custom dashboards as well, as much as you want. Here I have only one custom dashboard, but you can create new dashboards. You can select whatever layout you would like, and you can make it public to all users or private only to specific users if it's going to contain some sensitive data. And then you can add widgets to the dashboard, and you can select the type of the widget, and you can of course select the type of the data it's going to present. Okay. And this is, as I mentioned, this is my custom dashboard. I can get whatever information I want there. Then we can go to the review mode. Enter review button is here. And this view is actually the place that you will spend lots of your times as a reviewer or investigator. Okay, as you can see, this is designed in a simple way, although we have lots of features, but when you look at the user interface, it's not complex. It doesn't look sophisticated. It's easy to use. So we have some panes here you can bring in or just close the panes if you do not want to have. Here's the filters pane, here's the item list, here's the review pane. So we have different, on top we have search mode and other features that we have. So I can work with the application, with the data here. These data that you can see here are actually processed and they are ready to review. But how can I import the data to a case? If I go back to the home page and enter the cases list, these are the cases I mentioned, and I can simply click on this three dot button here, and I can go to the add evidence part. As you can see, I have the evidences imported here, and they are all processed. So if you would like to add new evidence, it's here. You can add evidence here. You can show the evidence to the application, and you can select one of these processing profiles that comes with the application. These are predefined processing profiles, but of course, you can create your own custom profiles as well. What does a processing profile mean is actually how the application is going to deal with your data, how it is going to work with the data and process the data, what kind of data it's going to extract and categorize and show to you. So as I mentioned, we have some predefined processing profiles here, for example, forensic processing, but you can modify them as you would like to have. For instance, if you are going to modify an Android mobile, some of the options might be useless, but some of the options should be selected. I'm not going to explain all of them, but some of the important ones, like generating hash for each single file within the evidence, ignoring some known files, like I have the NSRL list for operating system files. I don't want to spend time processing operating system files, so I can download and import the NSRL list, so I can say that, okay, just ignore those files. Or if I'm looking for some kind of suspicious files, I can create a hash list for it, and I can say that, okay, alert me when you find those files. I can expand compound files, like here, I have lots of different compound files from different categories. For instance, Android files, I mean, applications or data sets. I can say that, okay, select all of them because I'm processing an Android image? Or for communication, am I going to process chat files, email files? Like we have archive files, you see, I can say that, okay, select or deselect them individually, or email files, you see, or lots of categories that I have here for log files. We can process event logs of Windows, firewall logs of Windows, and so on. So you can select based on your needs. Then we can deal with graphic files. I can create thumbnail for graphic files so you can review them easily without opening them one by one. We can create thumbnail for videos, okay? So you don't need to sit and watch all the video. You can just have an overview. You can have, for example, 10 or 20 thumbnails from the video, okay? We can export EXIF data from videos. We can carve data for those deleted files. We can recover deleted files. We can recover data from slack space on the disk, orphan files, and so on. We have optical character recognition. Okay, so you can recognize text within the images, and we are quite flexible with the languages that we do support. Okay, and yeah, for sure, Romanian language is also here. We can detect some explicit images. We can do malware analysis. We can do document content analysis. We can identify the language of the files automatically. We can extract some entities like credit card numbers, social security numbers, emails, phone numbers, and so on. And also an important option here is the ability to index all the text within the case. This might be a bit slower if you select this option, but this actually is recommended because it pays off when you do the review. And we have lots of more information here, like for refining the evidence when processing and so on. But let's just go back to the case and let's start with dealing with the data, with the actual data. So I'm clicking here and I'm directly going to review mode. And let's see how actually a normal reviewer, I mean, a normal day for a reviewer can be. So as I mentioned, this is designed in a pane format. So you have some panes here. For example, we have a filters pane. You can maybe start having a look to the kind of data that you have as an overview. You have documents, I have emails, I have folders, graphics, and so on. I have chat data, mobile phone data, and so on. Maybe document content, I have email addresses extracted from the contents. I have geolocation information, file attributes, computer information, and so on. So I have mobile data. So this filter pane actually helps you to narrow down your investigation to a specific file type or category. And also we talked about the indexing feature. Let's have a look and see how this indexing helps us and pays off during the investigation phase. So let's start by searching a keyword. Maybe I can start searching for this first word here, and I can copy it and simply paste it here, okay? And when I press enter, I'm expecting this to find at least this file, right? And sure enough, it finds this file, and it is highlighting those items for me, and it says that you have 7 hits, right? So this is the second one. I can use this navigator to go directly to the items that I'm looking for. Okay, let me clear this search, and let's check another file. These are PDF files, as you can see, and here we have image files as well. I think these are graphics. And okay, let's do another search, and maybe we can search for this word, maybe zoolage. I think this is not an English word. And let's see if this guy will find us. Sorry. Zoolage, and press enter, and let's see if this guy will find us that that specific image. And sure enough, it finds it, although that this is a graphic image, but since we have OCR feature and since we have processed this item, we are extracting the text from this document, although it's not English, but there's no need to be English. And if you go to the text part of this document, we have this extracted text, and it will show exactly where it finds the text for us. It might not be on the native view because this is an image, but in the text, we have this text, and it has indexed every single word of the text in all the case. So in a case with millions of the files and hundreds of gigabytes of data, believe me, it takes just seconds to find a text you are looking for. Okay, let's search for another keyword here. Maybe we can start searching for, let me see of my samples. Yeah. Cellular. And let's do another search. Let's press enter. And okay, based on the statistics, it found 12 items, as you can see here. So, and one of these items are actually a known file to me. It says key credit contacts. And if I go to the native view, as you can see, this is an Excel sheet. And you can see the Excel sheet exactly in a near native mode, let's say, as if you would see this in an Excel file or Excel application. Okay, but what I want to show you is the advanced features of search. Some of them, let's say, if I go here and if I search for the same keyword, but I select the family option here as well, it will find the related files to the results as well. What does this mean? Let's do a search and see. Okay, the previous time with the basic search, it found 12 files for us. But here it finds us 113 files, okay? And for this specific file that we found, let's enable this pane here. It says attributes, and we have the family part here. So it's clever enough to show me the family members of these files. What does it mean? It found actually an email for us and 4 different files, 2 PowerPoint files, another Microsoft Word file here. So actually, this is an email file. I can just click on the object ID, and it will find this here for me, and it will show the contents. And this email has attachments here, okay? So the attachments, one of the attachments contains this keyword that I was looking for. So just to help you, it brings the email itself and the other attachments as the family members for you to maybe not to ignore or overlook the other files that might be related to this data. Okay, and let's do a last search, and that should be enough for the search topic for indexing that we are using this. And I would like to search some keyword, but let's mix it with the filtering options. I am looking only for PDF files, so I can just go here, open the documents part, and I can select Adobe Documents, okay? There are 45 PDF files here. But not only PDF files, I am looking, not all the PDF files, but I'm looking only for English PDF files, okay? So let's expand general part here. And during the processing phase, FTK Central has identified the languages of the file. So let's select this English here. And right now, I have only 39 files, which are English and PDF files. Okay, and let's search for the keyword emerge here. But again, I will use text search. Emerge. This is a verb, so it might have different forms of a verb, like emerge, emerges, emerged, emerging, and so on. So let's select stemming to see different formats of the word as well. Okay, not only this written form, but all forms of the verb. Also, I want to find synonym words as well. Okay, we have lots of other options, but I'm just touching some of them. You can also define some specific field if you would like to. Just go and search this specific field with this value that contains, for example, this value and so on. And also you can save your searches so that you can come back later. It can be a public for your user only, or public for all the users, or private for you only. And then you can load the search from here if you have any, and just make the things faster. Okay, let's start this search. So I'm looking for emerge with stemming and synonym selected, and I am looking for this only in PDF English files. Let's see the results. Okay, it found 7 items for me. Let me just clear this one, and let's have a look to one of them, maybe Oil Daily. Let's see what it found for us. Okay, it found 12 results, and as you can see, it has found appears, issue. Why? Because they are synonym to emerge. Okay, look at this, seems. Okay, let's go to the other results that we found. Issue. Okay, as you can see, seemed, past form, rises. Okay, and one more, maybe we can have a look to the other one. Again, this is a PDF file, rising, you see, and one more maybe. Yeah, here we have only one here, and this is emerging. So these are really helpful options when searching for data and making sure that you are not missing any result which is related to your interested word. Okay, so let's clear the search here. We have the search part here. We have the filter part here. Let's clear search, and let's clear filters as well. And let's continue. Okay, maybe we can have a look here. What else we have in the filters pane? For instance, we have emails. We can investigate emails like messages. Okay, and let me clear the previous filters. Regarding email messages, again, or maybe let me filter them out to some specific files. I can filter based on the labels that I have. I have labeled the files previously for finding them easily. Okay, the first item in the list, and let's bring this attributes pane again. About emails, as you can see, this is finding relative emails and showing them as email conversation. So the emails that has been sent and received back and forth are under a single pane. Or the family just shows you the attachments of those emails. What else? The duplicates, if there's any duplicate of the file. The metadata, it shows you the metadata, where the file physically located. What is the subject? This contains NTFS metadata. This contains Microsoft metadata. If it's a Microsoft Word, it may contain EXIF data if it's an image or video, and so on. And finally, we have history part here. Okay, if I open the history, I will see which user have done which task on this specific document. So administrator user has viewed the document at this time. Then, for example, this user has removed the label from this item at this time. So, and lots of other options that added another label here, as you can see, added another label. So this is the history, so you can see what actions have been taken on this specific data. Then we can have a look to the graphics. It's here, it's again categorized based on the type of the image and the extensions. So I can select the graphics, and let's have a look here. We have the images here, and we have a thumbnail view actually when we are working with images or graphics, so we can quickly see the contents. I can resize the thumbnail size, and when you click on them, you will be viewing the contents. Again, the OCR, thanks to the OCR, we will be able to see the text version of the images, or this one, as you can see. This is actually a very small image. You can barely count the pixel and see the pixels. But again, we have extracted the text from this. And this is, I think, a Polish language document. Yes, and we have geolocation data, the EXIF contents of the data. So if I go to the, I think I don't have any images with EXIF data. So let me switch to a different case. I'm loading actually a different case from here that contains some graphic information. Okay. And actually, I can go here to the geolocation part, and I can filter based on the city or the country to narrow down the results. I am, let's say, interested in seeing the river park, city images, and I can apply this, and I can see the results related to that specific city. So if I bring this map view up here, okay, it should be here, yes. And even I can pop these panes up, which is helpful when you have two monitors and you're working with different monitors. So you can take this to a different monitor and extend the workspace. And maybe I can extend this a bit. So I have 14 images taken on this city, and on the map, you are able to see those images and the locations that they have been taken. Okay, if I go down, go in, zoom in, I can exactly see the photos and the places thanks to extracting the geolocation information from those images. Okay, perfect. And one last thing that I want to show you about this filtering and categorization is the system files, because the image that you have taken might contain Windows image or Mac image, okay, or another operating system. So we are capable of extracting system data. So let me go to the files category, and we have the, okay, let me see what question we have. This is a question, this is a nice question actually. Can we search data between all cases to find common ones? Please give me some time. I will answer this question in a minute, okay? Okay, so yeah, the category, and here we have the system summary. If the image that you are investigating contains system data, let me clear this filter as well, because I'm filtering based on the graphic files. Okay. System summary. Then we have the information about the operating system. We have operating system info. We have the application info, like the applications that have been installed on the machine, the application that has been recently used, which is, I mean, forensically really important information. Like installed application, I can select them, and let's go to the list mode, and I will see what applications have been installed on this machine, like TrueCrypt. Okay, so I can guess that there might be some kind of encryption on that machine, or Skype. So I can guess that I need to extract some Skype information and see the contents of that. The prefetch, the cache information, the startup items, system devices. I can see the browser data, like browser cache information, the URLs that have been visited, the search keywords that have been conducted. These are amazing information to investigate. Like I can see that on Bing, there has been some searches done, and if I select this one, I will be see the contents of the search. For example, the search term was this. Okay, and if this is an interesting data for me, I can simply right click on this and sorry, I can right click on this and I can label it. Okay, I can download it for manual investigation if I would like to. If I want to verify the data, if I want to check the data outside of the case, I can download it. I can label it. I can export it. I can do whatever I want. I can bookmark it for report generation. So let's, for example, go here and select bulk labeling, and I can label this data as, let's say, evidential information. Okay, and I can save it. This can be done later. This can be analyzed later. So again, for system information, the devices that have been connected to this machine, I can simply see them. The networks that have been connected or attached to this machine, recent files, Windows events. We are capable of parsing Windows events. So you can see the results here. We can open there, and you'll be able to see the events of the which device have been connected, what have been done on the machine, and so on. If you are interested in login attempts, you see login and logout attempts, which can be very important forensically. Okay, so I think we've talked about all data types that we have here, or maybe mobile information is the last one that we can discuss. So the messaging applications and the messages that we have plenty of them actually. We are capable of parsing almost all messaging applications, and you can see the chat data here in near native view. Let me remove this filter. Okay, maybe we don't have data on this one. Let me switch back to another case with mobile data. Okay, I just switched to a different case, and mobile messaging application. I have some messages here. I can select one of them, and let's have a look to the results. Maybe this one. And as I mentioned, we are viewing this in a balloon view, bubble view, and this is a group chat. So I can select, maybe let me see. I can select the sender, the point of view. Who is the sender and the owner on this device? I can, for example, select this one, and this will format the view according to the user that I'm selecting here. Okay, so let's continue with some more features. About your questions, let's take a minute to answer these questions. FTK Central cannot do the search among different cases. But with this FTK Central, we are actually providing a different client application. This is a lightweight application. This doesn't have all the features of investigations, but this is quite easy to use and light application. We call it FTK Plus, and this is free of charge. So you can see it, you can have it when you purchase the FTK Central. This is for maybe external users. If you want to export some data and have the review features at the same time, you can use this. And this application has the multi-case mode. So you can come here and select what cases you would like to analyze, okay, and 3 of them, and load 3 of the cases here. So you have this multi-case mode. So based on what you see, you will see the contents of the the case. And when you do a search, you will be searching actually among all those three cases that you have selected. This is actually nice and easy to use. This is a lightweight application. It has similar features, but only for review, not the processing features. So you might be happy to install this lightweight application on your laptop and connect to the remote machines and start working with them. This is an optional actually feature. So yeah, I have the cases here. Let's just load one of the cases. For simplicity, this is the removable storage case that I were working with that. And another feature that this FTK Plus has is the ability to show you the translation outputs. So this is a German language, as if you can see. But if I click on this, I can see the translation of the text. And we are capable of translating any language to any language. Of course, there are some licensing limitations, but if you have the license, you can translate from any language to any language. So this is, for example, a German, and right now we are seeing the English version. And the formatting is there. This text is italic, this font is large, so as if you are seeing the text in its own original format. And the translation quality is amazing. And this is offline translation. We are not sending any data to outside of your network. So you should be, I mean, rest assured with the sensitivity and the confidentiality of the data. We are not sending anything outside of your network. Okay, and yeah, that's it actually about the FTK Plus, which is easy to use. And let's go back to the FTK Central and let's see where we left off. Okay, about processing and working with data, I think I've covered everything, at least for this session. Now let's talk about some other features that we have here. One of the features is the ability to manage the review process. Okay, imagine that we have 2 or 3 or a team of reviewers that they are doing the review, but each reviewer is doing their own task. I don't know if they are really gathering the information that I need or not. Okay, so to bring kind of uniformity among different reviewers, I can use a feature called coding panel. It's here. It's another pane yet to review. And if I click it, it will appear here, okay? You can create these coding panels per case. I mean, I can have 1 or 2 or 3 reviewing panels, and you can assign them to different users as well. So a reviewer can access to a different coding panel while the other user is accessing a different review based on the type of the data they are investigating. So whatever you are seeing here, I have designed them. So I have created a couple of labels. I have created a couple of options and questionnaire for the reviewer to answer when they are dealing with these data. Okay. For instance, I have asked to mark if there's any content within this specific item. Then he has to answer. Or if there's any further analysis requirements about this specific item. So as they are reviewing the data, they need to answer this question because I have made one of them, or you can make all of them required field. So if they do not answer this, they cannot go to the next question or next item, sorry, to review. So, okay, so imagine the reviewer comes here and reads the data and says that, okay, this is, let me mark this or label this as sensitive. And the contents, it seems that it has some personal information. Okay, further analysis. Does it need any further analysis? I think no. It doesn't need any OCR. It doesn't need any translation. It doesn't need any malware analysis. So I'm good. So the verdict is, okay, include this in the report. Okay, and when you click on this item, since we have the answer, this save and next options enables. So you can add comments if you would like, because this is not recommended, and click save and next. Okay, it saves and it goes to the next question. Sorry, next item in the list. It switches to the next item in the list. So another item. Okay, this is maybe not important. So you can select that, ignore this, okay, and say that, okay, there's nothing really important here. So as you are reviewing, you then need to answer these questions. So all of the users, all of the reviewers then will provide whatever information you are asking for each item, which is amazing. And as the reviewer, you can come here and you can open the tags and check the labels. If any of the data has been marked as labels, like sensitive data, okay, I just marked as sensitive, so it's here. And if there's any categories like verdicts, right? So I just selected further analysis or include in the report. So I can be tracking the reviewer's outcome from here. Also, the viewed documents, which documents are not viewed, which documents are viewed, and which user has viewed them. Okay, these are the review process and managing and having an overview on the task. And also this feature is available in FTK Plus application as well, even better, I believe. So if you go here, I think it's here, sorry, coding, it appears here, and I can select the coding panel, review assistant, I called it review assistant, and the same thing happens here as well. So as far as I'm reviewing the contents, I can select the items, apply, save, and I can go to the next item in the list. So this is amazing. We have also another feature to manage the workflow and the review process, and we call it batch management. So you can assign some review tasks to a user or a group and monitor them, if how they are working, how the progress is going. Okay, so let's go to the case list. I have created sample for this review storage case, and I can go to the batch administration and let me select the case here. So you can create different progress and batch administration items for different cases. So based on this case, as you can see, I have created two different progress bars, one for this user, one for the other user. I have assigned some items to them, and I am expecting them to review them. I have set a start date, a due date, and I can see the progress. And as far as I can see, none of them has a start because I just created for the demonstration purpose. So also, I can go to the dashboard and I can see the progress in a single dashboard. Okay, so this is another tool to really manage the workflow and the progress among different users in a collaborative way. Okay, I think I have covered them as well. So the last part to cover is the data sources that we can collect data. So now we have an overview about how we can work with the data, how we can process the data, what features we have, and how we can manage the workflow and the review process. But finally, let's have a look to data resources and how we can gather data from remote resources. Uh, Again, in this homepage, we have a tab for data sources. I will show you which data sources we are actually supporting. So I can manage custodians. You can call it suspects, the persons who you are investigating them. Then we have the computers, okay? So the agents that you have installed, and you can bind them to the custodians. So these are, this is a Linux machine, this is a Windows machine, and you can see the agent version, you can see the operating system version from here, and so on. And then we have some other cloud resources to collect data from, like Gmail, like Google Drive, like OneDrive, like Microsoft Teams, Slack, SharePoint, Exchange. And under this Exchange, we have Office 365 as well. So you can add connectors to different cloud resources, and without the need to have the agents are for the computers only. So without the need to have any agents, you can connect to all of these cloud resources and collect data. I will show you in a minute. And also we are supporting network shares if you would like to collect data from. Okay, so these are the supported um, data sources. About the collection, we have a different part, collections, and you can simply create a new collection task. As you can see here, we have lots of them, and you can collect the data. And if you would like, you can immediately process the data upon collection as well. Or you can say that, okay, I don't want to process, just gather those data for me. Or some tasks are just for running and there's no data to be collected, so they're not applicable to process. Anyway, so let's create a new collection task here. We have different collection tasks. I will show you two of them. First is the file scan. This is for collecting files remotely. Let's give this task a name, task one, and I can actually use the templates that I have. I have created some templates like software inventory, Linux message collection, Windows event log collections. These are tasks that I have created for simplicity and easy to use, ease of use. So hardware info registry collection, user activity collection, and so on. Okay, so I'm creating a task, and I can select which case I would like to data to be imported to. And I can select, for example, cloud collections. Then based on the custodian, I can select the data that I would like to collect. For example, I want to collect data from computers, from network shares, from Exchange, from OneDrive, and so on. And when you select these items, as you can see here, it is adding new tabs for details that it needs to run the task, okay? And I can say that, okay, auto process the collection if you would like to, and then go to the next page. So custodian, which user or custodian you want to collect data from? Let's select one of them that we have some connections for. This is the Exchange tab. So I can exchange from this. This is Office 365 actually. And then I can filter the data that I would like to collect. For instance, I can select that just collect emails or collect meetings or all of them, whatever data you want, notes, docs, journals, contacts, IM. And I can filter further based on the subject, based on any keyword, based on collection, creation and modification date, based on sender's address, and so on. We have lots of options here. And also you can save this filter for later use. You can include or exclude based on this filter. Okay, I can save this as a template for later use as well. Or you can just do not define any filter and collect whatever information you find. The next tab is for computers. I want to collect from some computers like this machine, what data you would like to collect, okay? Are you going to collect a filtered collection, like based on the extension, like based on the path, file size, creation date, modification date, etc. We have lots of options here. Or you can also exclude based on this filter. Or I want to gather full disk acquisition. Okay, I can also say that collect physical disk or collect just logical disk. Great. So let's collect full disk acquisition from this computer. The next tab is network shares. Which network share you want to collect? You can select all of them based on your needs. And then again, we have the filtering options. Next, OneDrive. Again, the same filtering options apply here. You can load filters, save filters, or you can just collect all the data. The next tab is for scheduling. So what I can do, I can say that, okay, run it automatically immediately. Or I can say that, okay, schedule this. And I can schedule and enable recurrence. So I can say that run this task in weekly basis, daily basis, monthly basis. If you would like to gather some information for archiving, I don't know, for later use, depends on your situation. So I can define an end date, or I can say that run this indefinitely. Uh, okay, anyway, select manual, and the next one, just a review here, and you can submit the collection, and we can execute the collection whenever I want, okay? So, and later I can go back and see the collection details, and based on the details, I have the collection process, I have the client information, and I have the results folder that I have collected the data. Okay, so we can process the data and work with it. The second type of the data, the collection task, let's create another one. Again, is the agent scan. The first one was the file scan, and the second one is the agent scan. Let's give it a name, task 2, and again, let me select the case for this, like agent collections. And this time, I just want to run some agent tasks on specific computers. I can select the computer that I want to run, and these are the agent scan types that I have. Like I have a threat scan. Okay, if I want to know if there's any kind of indicators of threat or compromise on each machine, I can run a threat scan. What does this mean? It means that I am capable of running Yara or IOC rules. You can so import, like I have done here. I've imported some ransomware analysis scripts from Yara and IOC so that I can select them and I can run them on the client machines. Okay. Or I can say that, okay, run a software inventory, collect software inventory of that machine that I'm running. And I can schedule this task to run every week. I can say that, okay, do a volatile job, collect volatile data from remote machines. What does this mean? It means that collect processing information, process names, DLLs, system information like services, drivers, users, volume, and so on, networking information, network socket, the sessions, DNS info, run a malware analysis task. This is the malware analysis task that I can run on the remote machine. Also, I can collect registry information from Windows machines, like I can add them one by one, the registry that I would like to have, or I can use templates that I have, like collect user activity registry items, and I can add using the template, and there we go. I have the collection of the registry information that is related to user activity for later processing. I can gather hardware data as well. There we go. We have all of them. Okay. And I can do memory acquisition. I can do memory analysis and so on. And finally, if there is a kind of incident based on the volatile jobs, based on the threat scan, I can go here and I can run an agent remediation task. What does this mean? It means that I can kill a process. I can send the file, the remediation file. I can execute the file, and I can delete a file if needed. And there is no limitation here. I mean, I can run a bash script on a Linux machine. I can run a batch file on a Windows machine. I can run PowerShell scripts on a remote machine. And this literally means that I can do whatever I want in an administrator privilege. So yeah, I can select whatever task I want to run here. Again, the same options that we have, scheduling, and then I can submit and start the task. So I think I'm good. We are done, and uh, uh, I think we have 10 more minutes for the questions. Sorry if I was talking and talking, there was no other questions so to discuss about. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer.
Okay, I think we don't have more questions so far.
Okay. Okay, there is a question actually, who are the typical clients apart from governmental agencies? Well, we have wide variety of customers based on their needs. For instance, we have lawyer attorney agencies for the private sector. We have financial clients, lots of financial clients, because they need to implement the compliance needs, regulations for their internal use. Like they want to have some kind of incident response when dealing with incidents. So lots of financial customers we have, but with this situation that we have currently, I mean, working from home, the cloud environments that we have increasingly these days, uh, almost all of the corporate types are subject to use these data. So although that we are dealing with some specific customers, as I mentioned, the health institutions, the financial institutions, the law enforcement, and I mean, law organizations, but we have some, I mean, different customers as well because of the incident response features that we have and providing them to have an incident response plan, to be able to gather information from the clients and from the cloud environments. So there's a wide range of customers that we have.
Okay, let's see. Let's wait a little bit to see if we can receive another questions.
Okay.
We have another question. Is there any visibility in the encrypted messaging apps like WhatsApp or Telegram?
That's an amazing question. Yes, we are capable of extracting encrypted data from those applications and from many other applications. So, but in general, let me answer this question in a general way. There are different kind of encrypted data, like the one that you mentioned. As we know, WhatsApp is storing the data in an encrypted way, but we are able to extract the encryption key from the client's machine, from the mobile device, and decrypt the data. There is no intervention for the user to take. Okay, so this is an automated process. The same thing goes for Telegram or the other applications, the messaging applications that we are capable of decrypting. So the answer is yes. But some data, like let's say that the user has encrypted the message manually using a password, okay, like GPG tool, the encryption, VeraCrypt, TrueCrypt, okay, those kind of applications. So then what we can do is to use some kind of brute force mechanisms to break to restore the password or crack the password. And what we can actually do extra than your own tools, because there are lots of brute force attack tools, right? What we can do to increase the chance of cracking the password is that use the customer data or the custodian data to create a dictionary file. All of us know that we can download dictionary files from the internet and start brute forcing, but these data are usually generic data. What we can do is to export a word list, export a dictionary from a case that contains the client's email messages, the messaging, applications, the documents, the Word files, the Excel files. So we are doing the brute force with the messages and the contents that is peculiar to that user. So we have high chance of breaking those brute force attacks, okay? And finally, some of the disks or some of the data are being encrypted with modern cryptography like private keys, symmetric keys. So those are unbreakable. We are not doing magics here. We are not doing miracles. So we are not capable of breaking those. But if we have the key to break them, we can automate this process. But without the key, it's not possible.
Okay, thank you. I received a separate question. The question is like this: if an existing customer wants to go from the FTK to the FTK Central, it is possible from the licensing point of view?
From which FTK? FTK standalone or?
Standalone, yeah. Perpetual license standalone, yeah.
Well, FTK standalone is as I mentioned, is the simplest solution that we have. I am afraid that wouldn't be possible. First of all, because it doesn't provide you any flexibility and any scalability. That shouldn't be possible because well, this is technically possible. We can upgrade the current environment and you can use it for FTK Central. So it is possible technically, but this is not something that we would recommend because then you are missing lots of features of the application. Because FTK Central is a standalone, it's only capable of using the local database. There's no centralized database integration. This is not something that we recommend. We would be happy to help you to integrate and distribute your environment to bring a better installation and deployment to your environment, but this is not something that we recommend. Yep. But the other solutions, FTK Lab and FTK Enterprise, yes, they can be integrated with FTK Central easily.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so then if we don't have any more other question. Okay, I think we can close the session.
Okay, thank you so much for your time and your patience. It was a pleasure being with you, and thanks again.